It's party time! Alright, hi everybody, it's me, Jackie Arment. I'm back again with another spooky video. Today we're just going to sit down and talk about how our Halloween party went for the year 2022. Me and my husband had a vintage themed Halloween party and it turned out really awesome. It was a nice theme that wasn't too ambitious and had a really good payoff as far as like decorations and like all of that stuff. So I would definitely say that if you're looking to do a theme that doesn't require a whole lot but has a really good effect, this is a good one for that. But anyways, before we get into how everything went, I would like to say that if this is the kind of content you like, if you like crafts, you like tutorials, you like spooky recipes, you like costuming, and just anything all around spooky, that you would give this video a thumbs up, and you would also hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. It is Halloween all year long here, not just in October, so if you like that, then stay with us because there's a lot of spooky fun on this channel. Also, if you'd like to support this channel in a little more personal way, I have a Patreon. Patrons are eligible to win things like monthly giveaways, of which are things that I make on this channel, and also just a bunch of other rewards and other tiers, including being a part of a live stream of our Halloween party. If you missed this one this year, there's always next year. And you can also get things like Halloween cards from us and a bunch of other fun spooky stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, then go to patreon.com/Jackie Arment and think about giving a little bit of support. Even just the lowest tier of $3 a month helps so much. It's just like buying me a cup of coffee every month. It's not that big of a deal. And okay, with that being said, I guess we'll just go ahead and get into the video. Here we go. All right, everybody, so we're here. I've got my apple cider, and we're just gonna sit down and talk about how the Halloween party went. So yeah, basically, this theme, it was a lot of, it wasn't a whole lot of crafting involved in it. I mean, you probably could do more if you wanted, but that was kind of the point of this theme when we picked it. We kind of wanted to take a break from really, really ambitious stuff and kind of do something maybe a little easier. And so that's kind of like where this came from. I did do a few crafts, and I mean, if you've been watching this channel this spooky season, you've seen some of them. I have a playlist on my channel, which is our Vintage Halloween Party playlist. So you can watch it from the beginning, the planning video, because I had a video where I planned it all out and talked about the things that I wanted to do for the party. And then you can watch me do some of the crafts and stuff leading up, the invitations, and then, now the final result. So I got pretty much everything done that I wanted to, what I planned to do. There's only maybe a few things that I didn't do, but they were just kind of like things that I was like, well, if I get around to this, I'll do it. And it doesn't happen, then it's not as big of a deal. But for the most part, I got everything I wanted to get done. Like I said, this was a whole lot of just like buying things. A lot of things I bought on Amazon that were vintage looking Halloween party stuff. You can't really go wrong with like just orange and black, which is kind of a lot what we did. We did orange and black streamers. We found some cute Halloween like paper lanterns at the dollar store. We already had a lot of stuff that we just used for our regular Halloween decor anyway, which was like, we had some candy corn lights. We had just, some tinsel garlands, just like pretty much just classic Halloween is kind of the way to go. And we were lucky too that there was, I think it was No, it was Halloween Express this year. Had a lot of vintage Halloween inspired stuff. So we got really lucky. Obviously there's always Amazon. Amazon was really helpful. There was a lot of vintage Beastal looking stuff that you could get for not super expensive because they were just recreations of things. But yeah, we just kind of had, you know, paper skeletons hanging. We had little cutouts that you buy. Pom-poms. It was pretty easy as far as decorating went. And so, you know, as far as like actual things that we made, it kind of came down to the food. So I pretty much got everything I wanted to make made. There was only maybe 1 or 2 things that didn't happen, but they were kind of on the back burner in case I didn't get to them. But it ended up being okay because I actually had a lot of people bring stuff. So that actually worked out. But I basically, when I thought about what I wanted to make for the party, it was like things that were very, you know, vintage Halloween, and then things that made me feel nostalgic when I think about Halloween. So maybe not completely vintage, but also just what makes me feel nostalgic when it comes to Halloween. And so I made like these little witch cupcakes that are kind of remind me of something that I would have had at like an elementary school, you know, Halloween party growing up, which was very nostalgic for me. We got some candy from Oriental Training that was very like classic Halloween candy that you would find in your candy bucket. Oh, we made popcorn balls, which is like a very traditional Halloween treat with candy corn in them, obviously. And, you know, we just kind of went along those lines. I think I also made this kind of like Monster Mash crunch mix kind of thing. And it was basically all the Monster cereals with just some melted, like candy melts. They were like white chocolate candy melts just poured over them. And it was kind of like a candy bark sort of situation, but with that cereal, which was very nostalgic for me. And the rest of it was kind of also like me trying some vintage recipes. We made these bacon wrapped Spam bites, which were a vintage recipe that I found and which turned out to be really good. I also did like a cheese fondue thing because that was a very popular thing in like the 50s through the 70s of parties in general, that you just had fondue. That was the thing. And I will say that was very hard. I've never made cheese fondue before, and it's very difficult, and it was very difficult to keep warm the whole time. I found a like fondue pot at Michael's that looked like a cauldron, and I was like, this is perfect. And it kept the cheese pretty liquidy for a while, but then towards the end of the night, it started getting really thick and people had to kind of stir it, but it still tasted good, but it was finicky, and I may not ever do that again. Unless I really figure it out. But like, that was probably the only thing that maybe didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But I mean, it still tasted good, but it was tough. So if you ever thinking about doing fondue for a party, I don't know, you maybe want to practice a little bit before you do it. At least I would practice again before I did it again. But and then I made these little pumpkin pudding and jello parfaits, which I wasn't sure if they were going to be good because this was kind of like a old-fashioned recipe, Halloween recipe, and it was basically like a pumpkin pudding, and then there was a layer of orange jello on top, and then it had just like a little dollop of whipped cream. And I wasn't sure how that was going to taste. It sounded like it could be good. But like the textures of like pudding and jello together seemed like it might be kind of disgusting, but like, you know, what's a vintage party without a possibly disastrous vintage recipe? So, but it ended up turning out really good. Everybody was saying that they were really good. I made them in like tiny little cups so that people didn't have to commit to something big in case it was gross. But no, it ended up turning out really good. So I would recommend that, and they were really cute looking too. I was super proud of the way they turned out, and they weren't that hard. You could make them I made them a couple nights before, so they sat in the fridge, and it was a perfect little party thing to do ahead of time. And then just some other stuff. I made like an autumn Chex Mix, which was really good. It would be good for fall too. I wanted to film a lot of these recipes because I did that last year. I filmed myself making, I think, about 3 recipes and posted a video. This year just got really crazy. I think maybe it was because my Sarah Sanderson costume, I ended up having 3 videos for that instead of just 2. And so I didn't really have the time to do that. But if you guys watch this video or, you know, and you see the recipes that I made and you hear me talk about it and you want me to make a video, I could probably do that in like November when, you know, I don't have as much content to figure out how to fill for videos until Christmas. So yeah, if you see anything, like I think one of them I really wanted to film was these little witch lollipops we made that my husband helped me make them. And they're just chocolate pops, but they were really fun to make actually. It was really, if you're into painting, it was kind of relaxing. And they turned out really cute, and they reminded me of something that I had when I was a kid, and you know, reminded me of like, which again is nostalgic for me, on Hocus Pocus. There's a scene where Danny is eating one of those little witch chocolate pops, and it's like, I don't know, I just associate that with nostalgic Halloween, and so I wanted to make them, and I found the molds on Amazon. And they surprisingly weren't that hard to do. I thought it was gonna be really difficult. It was time consuming. I will say it was time consuming because you have to paint each color and everything, but they ended up being really good. It was just straight chocolate on a stick. And I mean, how can you go wrong with that? But they looked so cute, and they turned out really adorable, and I was super proud of them. So I could make a video of that if you guys want to see that. But yeah, just let me know in the comments if there's any of these recipes that you thought were really cute and you want to know how to make it. I can do that. I also just, you know, I've noticed too that like the spooky recipes or just like the recipes in general videos don't get as many views on my channel. So I don't know if you guys really like watching those or not, but you know, if you guys want me to do it, I can do it. Just let me know. Anyway, but yeah, other than that, I think like the food just really shined. The rest of it, you know, like I said, the decorations were just pretty classic Halloween. It wasn't that hard to achieve. We also had like 2 different punches. I had an orange kind of punch and a green, and one of them was alcoholic and one of them wasn't, and both of them tasted pretty good. I can link recipes to them, but they, you know, just pretty standard punch. Wasn't anything super special. And we did do a costume contest. We always do that every single year. I have an app, which I think I talked about this one time on the last year's video when I talked about our Halloween party. I'll have to write it here what it's called because I can never remember what the app is called, but it is a great app for doing costume contests. If you ever do that at a Halloween party and you've wanted to, it makes it so easy. Basically, it's just when you have somebody who wants to be in the costume contest, you use the app to take a picture of their costume and you can enter them into the contest. And then when it comes time to vote, you can I just pass my phone around and let them vote on the app. And all they have to do is just click the picture of the person they want to vote for and hit vote. And they voted. And then it tallies it all up for you, and it gives you like a first place, second place, third place. And even further down, you can do best costume. You can do categories, like, so you can have a contest that you set up like funniest costume or scariest or best couple. Like you can do, it's so great. It's a great app and it's free. And so like I'll make little prizes. I made little trophies and like just a gift basket for the winner, for the first place winner. that had just like a bunch of cute little vintage Halloween stuff in it. It was like in a little candy bucket. And it ended up being my sister and her husband who won the costume contest. And they had a super clever costume where she was a witch and he was her broom. And it was just hysterical. And they ended up winning because I think just everybody thought that was so clever and hilarious. And I'm glad they won because that was great. That was like the best. It was just so good. And so anyway, yeah, so usually we'll announce the winners, we'll do that until about like 10 o'clock. That usually gives enough people time to get here and get entered in if they have a costume. And, then people can stay, they don't have to stay super long for the announcement of the costume and then go home. But we did not have a party game this year. Usually I do that. Last year we did kind of like a horror music from horror movie trivia game. And people liked that. This year we didn't. I just couldn't think of a good game to go on theme. Usually I like to try to do a party game. It's fun. And this year I just couldn't think of one that was on theme. And so I was like, well, we just won't have one. It's fine. We've got the costume contest. It's all good. Like, we'll just, not do it. And so many people came up to me and were like, is there a party game? Are we going to do a party game? And I was like, no, I couldn't think of one. And they were like, oh, okay. Like, and I think people were kind of upset that we didn't have a party game. I didn't know that people really liked it that much. So I'm just going to have to step up my game and remember that next year, make sure we have a party game that goes along with the theme of the party. We did do a photo booth this year. Last year, we had this endless hallway that we tried to make. If you've watched that last video where I talked about it, that we tried to make because it was a haunted hotel theme and we were trying to kind of do a haunted mansion kind of effect with an endless hallway, and it didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to, but it ended up being an awesome photo booth for really cool photos. And so we remembered that and we were like, we're gonna do like an actual photo booth, like an on-purpose photo booth. And so we did. We kind of tried to make it look like the Red Room from Twin Peaks. And it looked really cool, and I think some people did use it. We had some props out, like I have a Chucky doll, and we have a bunch of other stuff that we just had out for people to use to take spooky pictures. And I think some people utilized it, but I think it was difficult for them to know that it was a photo booth because it wasn't quite on theme with the party. We didn't think about that until later. We were like, yeah, I guess the Twin Peaks Red Room wasn't exactly on theme. And so maybe next year we definitely really need to think of a photo booth that's more on theme. And I think next year will be easier to do that. This was kind of hard to do a vintage Halloween themed photo booth. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about the party because like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of props that we had to make. It was just a lot of decorating. And as I said before, and a lot of the things we already have. A lot of my Halloween decorations are already kind of vintage Halloween and very classic, so it made it a lot easier. And so, yeah, like I said, if you're looking to do a theme for a Halloween party that is not super ambitious, but you want a good payoff and it looks like you did a whole lot and it's still very impactful, this is a good theme. It is a really good theme. It's really easy to find recreations of a lot of vintage stuff now. And there's like some fun projects you can do. And I would definitely recommend this theme. I think it was really fun. I'd never done this before and kind of wanted to. And yeah, it turned out really great. It was another, successful party in the books. And I'm looking forward to next time. We already know our theme for next year. We are gonna do a trapped in a video game theme. So that one will have a lot of stuff that we can make and just has endless possibilities, I think. So.
Hey, I just thought I'd stop in real quick to talk about the audio equipment we used this year. So, given that we live in an apartment, we have limited space, and the previous year I tried to set up a big PA equipment, turntable and everything, but that proved to take up too much space. So this year, we found these awesome, and Anchor does not sponsor this, but we found these awesome Anchor speakers that pair to each other, surrounding your apartment or small house in audio. And I just wanted to recommend these if you have a small place and you need audio filling every room and every space. These are great. It's the Anker SoundFlare 2. That's all I have to say.
Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And, you know, thanks for sitting down with me and let me talk about how the party went. It was really fun. I think everybody had a really great time. And, you know, if there's any questions you guys have that maybe you saw in my planning video and I didn't mention, like, oh, did you end up doing this? You know, just comment and I will answer your questions. And like I said, you can check out everything from the start of this, from the planning that I started for this party up into some of the projects, to my costume, till now. There's a playlist on my channel that is my vintage Halloween party playlist. There's also the playlist from last year. So if you're interested in seeing my haunted hotel themed Halloween party, you can check that out too. There's the planning video for that all the way up until the actual party and I talk about it. So, but yeah, that's it. And you know, if you guys stayed till the end of the video and you liked it, as always, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. Next video, I have no idea what it will be. Like I said, November is a struggle for me sometimes to figure out what kind of content to do, because I feel like sometimes it's a little too early for Christmas for me. My mind is... I don't hate Christmas. I love Christmas. But right after Halloween is over, my mind is still in spooky. And is still occupying my brain, and it takes me a little bit to get into the Christmas. I can't just go to Christmas like that. It's just like I can't. I'm still recovering from all the spooky, and so I kind of enjoy just some fall stuff for a while, but before I start getting into Christmas, even though our Christmas is still kind of spooky Christmas. But yeah, so I don't know what the next video will be. We will see. Maybe possibly some Harry Potter stuff too. I don't know. Me and my husband like to watch the Harry Potter movies in November because we watch pretty much a Halloween movie every single night in October. And then we do the same thing at Christmas. We watch Christmas movies. But November, there's like this in between where we're like used to watching a movie every night and we don't have anything to watch. So we started like just doing a Harry Potter marathon through the month. So maybe I'll do some kind of Harry Potter themed craft video. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Or if, like I said, there was a recipe that you wanted to see that you wish I had videotaped, then I could do that too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Something will come out. Something will come out in November. And then closer to the end where we get to December, there'll be some spooky Christmas content. So, but I do just want to say that like this, you know, spooky season has been really great. It's been wonderful. I love sharing all of it with you guys. That's one of my, I think, favorite things is sharing my spooky stuff with everyone, especially in October, just sharing that like Halloween spirit. And I feel like I can do that even more on YouTube. So I love that you guys like to watch it and that I get to do that and share it with you. It's really special and I appreciate all the love and the support and all the likes and subscribes and everything. It's really wonderful. And as always, I will leave links to my social media in the description of this video, my Instagram and TikTok, where there's a lot of things that other spooky content that doesn't make it to YouTube usually ends up there. I will leave a link to my Etsy shop, which I sell a lot of spooky, witchy, Halloween stuff like all year long. My shop is on vacation until the 1st of November, so maybe by the time this video is out, it will already be off of vacation, but I don't know. But it will be open back up in November, and you can buy stuff, you know, maybe for Christmas if you have anybody on your Christmas list who likes spooky stuff. And also, if you're looking for something to do in between my videos, I have 2 books on Amazon. One is a zombie romance and one is a vampire adventure story. They are both available as paperback and Kindle versions, and you can read a little bit of the Kindle version before you buy it to see if it's your thing or not. I'm also in the works of a third book, which there's a sneak peek of on my author website, which I will also leave a link to. And it is about a young woman who's possessed by a demon. I'm still writing it. It will come out hopefully soon. I plan on really working on it here in November and cracking down on it. So if you're interested to see about that, there's a sneak peek there. And oh, and as always, like I said before, if you are looking to want to support this channel a little more way than just hitting that subscribe button, you can go to patreon.com/JackieArment and think about giving a little bit of support. There's a lot of fun rewards on there, especially around spooky season, but also just all the time. And yeah, so think about checking that out and heading there. Yeah, other than that, that's it. So just stay spooky, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.